I never believed in the old stories, but now I wish I had. It was late autumn, and the crisp air clung to the trees like a shroud, stifling all sounds except for the crunch of my boots on the forest floor. They stationed me in a remote area near the reservation, a place known among locals as Waning Light Woods. No one on the force took it seriously, but some older agents whispered about it like they knew something I didn't. The area was eerily quiet, as if it held its breath, waiting. Even the trees seemed to loom taller, casting long shadows that stretched far beyond sunset. I felt the weight of the place before I even knew the stories. They said the woods were haunted by tall men, forest spirits, both guardians and harbingers of doom. I brushed it off, telling myself it was all superstition. But the deeper I ventured, the more I felt like I was being watched. It started with the noises. At first, I wrote them off as animals or the wind, an occasional snap of a twig, the soft rustling of leaves. But soon I could hear something else, something unnatural, like a faint, guttural whisper weaving through the trees. It felt almost like laughter, though it was distorted, twisted. I tightened my grip on my flashlight, its beam barely piercing the thickening mist. I found strange markings on the trunks, handprints, far too large to be human, with elongated fingers stretching downward like they were pointing to something below. When I touched one, my fingers tingled, as if static electricity pulsed through the wood. I pulled my hand back and rubbed it absently, feeling an ache settle in my bones. The air grew colder, and an unnatural stillness blanketed the forest. No animals, no wind, only silence. I could hear my own breathing, shallow and rapid, louder than anything around me. It was then I saw the first shadow, a flicker in the corner of my eye. I turned, but there was nothing. Only the towering trees, their twisted branches reaching for the sky like skeletal fingers. I decided to head back to my truck, hoping to shake off the creeping sense of dread. But as I turned, I realized the path I had taken was gone, swallowed by the forest. No trail, no landmarks, nothing but an endless stretch of trees. I tried to stay calm, telling myself I could retrace my steps. But the more I walked, the more the forest seemed to change, bending around me, trapping me within its grasp. As I stumbled deeper into the woods, I heard a low growl, almost imperceptible, but it sent a chill down my spine. It was then I remembered something an elder had told me, a story I'd shrugged off as nonsense. He spoke of a creature that roamed these woods, one that wore the skin of man but held the soul of something far older, far darker, a Sasquatch, the guardian of the forest, angered by those who tread too deep into its domain. I quickened my pace, hoping to outrun the growing sense of fear gnawing at my insides. My flashlight flickered, the light struggling against the encroaching darkness. I stopped to catch my breath, and that's when I saw it. A figure standing just at the edge of my vision. It was enormous, nearly twice my height, with eyes that glowed a deep, unnatural red. The air grew thick, stifling, and I felt a weight pressing down on my chest. The figure didn't move, but I could sense it watching me, studying me. I took a step back, but my foot caught on something and I stumbled. The creature tilted its head, almost as if amused by my fear. I scrambled to my feet, heart pounding, and turned to run, but I could hear it following me, each step echoing like thunder in the stillness. I pushed myself to keep moving, the branches clawing at my face and arms, leaving jagged red lines in their wake. I came to a clearing, breathless and trembling, only to find a circle of stones with strange symbols carved into them. The air was filled with a sickly sweet smell, and I realized it was blood, fresh, dark, smeared across the stones in intricate patterns. My vision blurred, and I felt a wave of dizziness wash over me. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, filling my mind with fragments of ancient words, warnings I couldn't understand. I sank to my knees, clutching my head, as the forest seemed to close in around me. And then I saw him. The elder from the reservation, standing at the edge of the clearing, his face shadowed, but his voice clear. "You shouldn't have come here," he said, his voice a low rumble that seemed to vibrate through the ground beneath me. "The forest doesn't want you here." I tried to speak, to plead for help, but the words caught in my throat. He looked at me, his eyes filled with a strange, sorrowful pity, before he vanished, leaving only the silence and the oppressive darkness. The creature stepped forward, its massive frame casting a shadow that swallowed the clearing. I closed my eyes, bracing for the end, but then nothing. I opened my eyes, and the clearing was empty, the stones bare, the air still. I stumbled back through the woods, the path appearing before me as if the forest had finally released its hold. When I reached my truck, I collapsed into the seat, gasping for breath. I looked back at the forest, expecting to see the creature, but there was only darkness. I never told anyone what happened, but every night I hear those whispers, that low, guttural laughter echoing in my mind. The markings never faded from my skin, a reminder of the price I paid for venturing too far into the unknown. And sometimes, when I'm alone, I feel a presence watching me, waiting, as if the forest hasn't finished with me yet. I still patrol the border, but I never go near waning light woods. I don't need to believe in the old stories anymore. I lived them. And I know deep down that someday the forest will call me back. And this time, it won't let me go. The story provides the gradual escalation, eerie atmosphere, and the ambiguous ending that leaves the audience wondering. Let me know if you'd like to refine or expand on any parts.